I never thought my husband's new side hustle would destroy our marriage until I heard him roast my biggest insecurity, Liv, to 50,000 strangers. My name is Rachel Adams. I'm 31, work as a pediatric nurse in Austin, and for most of our 5-year marriage, I believed Sam and I were the textbook definition of supportive partners. We split chores, split bills, split late-night Taco Bell runs. Sam's a software engineer who once dreamed of launching a startup but lately settled into remote job comfort, hoodie, headset, and endless cans of lime La Croix. Normal life, right? 2 months ago, he got restless. "Everybody's got a podcast now," he said one night while we folded laundry. "I could totally run one on the side, tech rants, relationships, guy stuff." I laughed, told him to go for it. We didn't have kids yet, so if he wanted to talk into a mic for a couple hours a week, fine by me. I even Amazon primed him a slick USB mic as a surprise. First episodes? Crickets. He hid behind the handle Coach Rex, deep voice filter, no real name, 100 downloads if he was lucky. I'd tease him, "How's the Rex verse tonight?" He'd roll his eyes and say, "Just wait." He changed formats around week 3. Less tech talk, more male empowerment. He'd lock himself in the spare bedroom we called the den, lights off, curtain drawn, the only glow from his ring light and 2 monitors. I figured he was playing Joe Rogan on easy mode. Whatever. I worked 12-hour shifts and barely had energy to microwave dinner, let alone monitor his content. Then weird things started happening. At breakfast, he'd make vague jokes that mirrored stuff I'd vented to him in confidence. Like the time I confessed I felt self-conscious about gaining 10 pounds during night shift rotations. Next morning, he chuckled over his cereal. "Some women cry about carbs and expect gold stars." It stung, but I brushed it off, maybe just a careless joke. A week later, I caught him in the kitchen scribbling notes while I described a fight between 2 nurses at work. When I asked why, he hid the pad and said, "Just brainstorming storyline ideas." My gut pinged, but I was exhausted and let it slide. The numbers on his YouTube analytics must have exploded overnight because suddenly he was energized. He'd himself after recording, kinda manic. Packages arrived daily, boom mics, acoustic panels, LED strips. He moved the den's futon out, replaced it with a green screen. I asked where the money was coming from. He winked and said sponsorship deals were brewing. I laughed, good for him. Setup of our life? Quaint. We rented a modest 2-bed in North Austin. Friday tradition was Trader Joe's frozen pizza, Marvel movies, and our cat, Pixel, hogging the couch. My hobby was watercolor painting. His was, apparently, becoming the next Andrew Tate Light. I didn't know because, honestly, I never listened. Maybe that was my first mistake. The second mistake was ignoring the anonymous Reddit thread that popped up in my inbox. One of my nursing friends DM'd me, "Isn't this your husband's voice?" The clip featured a deep-voiced host telling a story about a clingy wife who tracks her man's location 24/7. I rolled my eyes. Sam and I shared Life 360 only for emergencies. I barely checked it. Still, the cadence sounded familiar. My stomach twisted. I clicked away, convinced I was being paranoid. After all, thousands of men in Texas sound like Sam. I kept noticing coincidences. Sam mentioned research trips to the shooting range though he hated guns. Next episode descriptions on the podcast feed, why every alpha needs to master firearms. Sam joked about hospital gossip. Next episode, inside info from healthcare insiders, proof women stir drama. Each time I confronted him, he shrugged. Content is everywhere, Ratch. Don't take it personally. Then came the night shift that changed everything. I got off work at 11 p.m., drove home ready to collapse. Passing by the den, I heard Sam live on YouTube. His voice filter bemused me. He pitched it lower, giving off radio villain vibes. I paused at the door. He was mid-rant. "Guys, if your girl cries about her weight, that's on her. You're not her therapist, you're not Jenny Craig. Solution? Hit the gym yourself, level up, let her feel the gap." Laughter flooded his chat, ping, ping, ping donations. But the worst was next. He said, "Story time. My buddy's wife's so insecure she uses Life 360 to see if he stops at Chick-fil-A. She thinks he's cheating. Reality? She's addicted to Chick-fil-A herself. He cackled. Fellas, if your woman's stalking your GPS, revoke that privilege. The giveaway, Chick-fil-A. I'd literally told Sam last week I worried I grabbed nuggets too often on commute. My chest went cold. I pushed open the door. He jerked, muted the mic. Babe, I'm live. Turn it off, I whispered. He flashed a panicked grin to the unseen audience. Technical break, boys, be right back. Clicked a BRB screen. What the hell, I hissed. That story is about me. He shrugged. It's anonymous, nobody knows you're you. 50,000 viewers, I pointed at his live counter. You're monetizing my insecurities. It's content, everyone does it. My jaw dropped. You're humiliating me for donations. He rubbed his temples. Ratch chill, this is the best traction I've had. I'm building a brand, it's not personal. Hot tears blurred my vision. We share everything, Sam, budget, bed, future kids, and you couldn't tell me you're dragging me online. He sighed like I was unreasonable. You want me to fail? Sponsors are lining up. We could pay off your student loans, finally travel. My heart pounded. In that moment, I realized two things. One, he didn't see me as a partner, I was material. Two, if I blew up on stream, I'd look crazy. Camera hovered inches away. Chat was spamming. Rex, where'd you go? Rex, keep cooking. I backed out without another word, slammed the door to our bedroom, and sobbed into Pixel's fur until sunrise. Looking back now, I see that was the actual breaking point, the moment trust cracked. Because once a spouse weaponizes your secrets for clout, the marriage is already bleeding out. But I didn't leave. Instead, I planned. Because if Sam thought he could use my life as content, he had no idea what real content looked like. And the first step was to find out exactly who Coach Rex had become and how deep his sponsorship money went. I opened our joint savings app and nearly dropped my phone. A mysterious deposit of $30,000 sat there, tagged Seed Investments LLC, our shared account, my name attached, meaning if things went south, so could my credit score. My blood ran cold. That night, while Sam snored beside me, I scrolled until 3 a.m., uncovering everything: his Patreon tiers, affiliate links for alpha supplements, and a startup called BrainForge funding his show in exchange for male demographic data. The kicker? He'd invested our emergency fund into their Series A round. He wasn't just humiliating me, he was gambling our future on it. Right then I decided, I wouldn't scream, I wouldn't beg. I'd out-content the content king. And I knew exactly how. Live on his own turf, with receipts that would make his audience turn on him faster than you can say, super chat. I just needed one more stream, one perfect entry point. And when it came, I would hijack it. Looking back now, I see how methodically I built the case, like a nurse charting vitals before calling a code. I wanted undeniable proof, not a messy, he said, she said, meltdown that comments could spin. So I became my own private investigator. First, I binged every episode of How to Outsmart Your Wife. I sat in the den while Sam was at the gym, headphones on, a legal pad filling with bullet points. Episode 7, Why Women Weaponize Tears. That was our fight about me missing Thanksgiving with his family because of hospital scheduling. He claimed I cried to control the narrative. Lie. Episode 9, Budget Busters. That was me buying watercolor supplies on sale. He told his audience I secretly maxed credit cards. Another lie. Episode 11, Location Leashes, direct quote. My own chick tracks me harder than the FBI. I'd checked Life 360 twice in 6 months, both times when he was late picking me up. Every episode ended with the same call to action. Join the Bros only Discord for real strategies. $10 a month. Level up. And the donations, God, the donations scrolling like Vegas slot lights, $5, $20, $50, each accompanied by usernames like Keto King 99 and Lone Wolf Alpha. Sam read them aloud with a smug chuckle. I timed it. He earned more in a 2-hour stream than I did in a 12-hour shift saving toddlers with RSV. I felt nauseous but weirdly calm. Nursing trains you to function under chaos, blood spurting, monitors screaming. Same principle, gather data first, react later. I screenshot everything, downloaded streams, archived his Discord chats. One thread made my hands shake. A user asked, "How do you keep the wife from seeing receipts for your side girl?" Sam replied, "Crypto gift cards, bro. If she asks, say it's work tools." The timestamp matched the night he bought software licenses. I remembered the $600 charge, had even joked, "Wow, pricey license." He'd kissed my forehead and said, "Cost of innovation, babe." I felt a cold flash. Was there another betrayal under the betrayal? I flagged it but shoved that terror aside, one crisis at a time. Next, I checked the LLC he'd mentioned. Public filings showed Seed Investments LLC had only 2 registered members, Sam Adams and a man named Trevor Klein, CEO of Brainforge. Investment amount, $75,000. Where did the extra $45K come from? A separate account? Credit line? My head spun. Meanwhile, Sam floated around the apartment humming. He told me Brainforge was sending him to Miami for a creator summit. 3 days, beachfront hotel, all expenses paid. Perfect. Time without him meant time to prep my ambush. The internal tug-of-war hit me at 3 a.m., the night before his flight. Pixel curled on my chest, purring while my thoughts rattled. Part of me missed pre-podcast Sam, the goof who baked me funfetti cupcakes after a double shift. What if exposure ruined his career? What if Brainforge sued? Could I live with nuking our finances? Other part answered, he already risked them without consent. He risked you. Fear of looking unhinged lingered, too. Online audiences can be brutal. What if the chat painted me as psycho wife? But shame is lighter than betrayal, and I'd already carried betrayal like lead. By dawn, the war in my head ended. Pixel meowed, perhaps she voted vengeance. Decision locked. I phoned Cassie, my tech-savvy ex-roommate who now managed Livestream setups for indie bands. She answered on the second ring. "Girl, it's 6:30, somebody bleeding." "Not yet," I said. "I need a crash course in stream sniping." "Explain." I spilled everything in 5 breathless minutes. Cassie whistled. "Damn, okay, ethically I'm Team Rachel, legally murky, but there's a loophole. If you donate Super Chat and he reads it, you control what appears on screen. You craft a message bomb, let the audience witness." I pictured it, big colored donation banner, my text unfiltered. "He can't mute chat without killing income," Cassie said. "And if his channel's set to auto-flash donor messages, he's toast." We crafted a plan. Create a throwaway YouTube account, handle Nurse Unmasked. Fund it with my rainy day savings. Schedule a massive super chat for exactly 30 minutes into his next stream, peak viewership. Message would include a link to a Google Drive folder containing every receipt, screenshot, and the LLC filing, public view set. Cassie scripted a line of HTML safe text so YouTube wouldn't auto-censor. We tested on her alt channel. It worked. Sam flew to Miami the next morning. Airport selfie, caption, "Big moves for Coach Rex. Stay tuned, Kings." I wanted to throw my phone. I spent his absence recording my own video statement, just my voice over a black screen. 5 minutes. Calm. I detailed his anonymity breach, misuse of joint funds, public degradation. No insults, just facts. I ended with, "You always wanted content, Sam. Here's the real story." I uploaded it unlisted, grabbed the link. Finally, I logged into our joint bank portal, printed statements showing the Seed Investments transfer, highlighted my name tied to the account. I scanned them into the drive. By the time Sam texted, "Miss you, babe, big night tomorrow, tune in at 8 p.m. Central, my hands no longer shook. The day of the stream, I worked a day shift, heart sprinting the whole time. At 7:55 p.m., I sat in the den, his neon lights still glowing behind the green screen. Pixel curled on the chair arm, tail flicking like a countdown. Stream went live. Viewer count climbed, 10,000, 20, 30, 52,000. Sam in a pastel linen shirt beach behind him, cocktail in hand. What's up, Kings? Broadcasting from Miami, Brainforge Summit, baby. Chat exploded with fire emojis. Donations poured. At 8:29 p.m., Cassie texted, "Ready." Ready. I hovered over the super chat button. Amount, $1,000, the maximum. I pasted our crafted message. Coach Rex, this is the clingy wife. Your real name is Sam Adams, husband of the woman whose secrets you sell. Here are the receipts. Link. Viewers, ask him why he invested marital savings ring into Brainforge without consent. Outsmarted. I click send. YouTube flashed red. Are you sure? I hit confirm. On screen, a massive pink banner exploded, $1,000 from Nurse Unmasked. Sam's eyes flicked to chat. He froze mid-sentence. Viewers spammed. Whoa, exposed. Link works. He tried to keep talking, voice cracking. Thanks for the generous dono, man. Someone super chatted $10. She says she's your wife. Another, the receipts show your LLC. Explain. Sam's pulse visibly throbbed in his neck. He clicked something, probably trying to delete my message, but super chats stay pinned for 2 minutes minimum. I watched the timer tick while downloads of the drive soared. Google Analytics showed hundreds of hits per second. Comments flooded. Coach fraud. Beta move. Refund now. He stammered. Guys, haters gonna hate. Cassie messaged. Link trending on Twitter. Sam ended stream abruptly. Screen went black. I exhaled for the first time in hours, tears slipping hot down my cheeks. Relief, sorrow, adrenaline. Pixel head butted my arm. My phone blew up. Unknown numbers, likely Sam, Brainforge, maybe reporters. I silenced it. I wasn't done yet, but phase 1 complete. The audience knew. Sponsors would know in minutes. And Sam, he'd realize the game changes when your content fights back. The next chapter would be messier. Legal, financial, emotional fallout, but at least I reclaimed my story. And I'd just given the internet its juiciest plot twist yet. Because in the influencer age, the only thing more viral than betrayal is justice served live. Sam's first call hit my phone at 8:43 p.m. I let it ring. Then came a barrage of texts. Ratch, we need to talk. Please pick up. Do you realize what you've done? Pixel and I watched the bubbles pop, vanish, pop again. At 9:01 he switched tactics, voice memos full of frantic breathing and half-formed sentences. They're pulling the sponsor, lawyers, you nuked everything. I could almost see him packing some sleek Miami hotel hallway, clutching his phone while Brainforge execs hammered his door. I wished I felt triumphant. Instead I felt hollow, like post-code adrenaline crash in the ICU. Cassie FaceTimed. Girl, you're on r/livestream fail front page. Clips at 1-2 million views. My stomach flipped. Is that good? For exposing him, yes. For your mental health, stay off Twitter. Too late. Notifications exploded, mentions, DMs, blue check commentary. Half applauded the wife sting. The other half called me crazy, manipulative, gold digging. One meme showed a nurse with devil horns captioned healthcare, more like hellcare. I swallowed bile and closed the app. At 9:30 Sam's sister Dana called. We were friends once, she'd been a bridesmaid at our wedding. I answered. Her voice was gentle. Rachel, he's spiraling, what happened? I inhaled shakily. He built a persona trashing me to strangers for money. I warned, he ignored, so I showed the truth. Silence, then a sigh. He's been different lately. I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't either, I whispered. Dana said their parents were already calling, angry and confused. He's on the way to the airport. His summit pass got revoked. I pictured him alone on a red eye, sponsorship gone, respect gone, maybe even job on the line if HR caught wind. A flicker of pity sparked, then fizzled. He lit this fire. Around 10 p.m., I emailed our joint financial advisor, attaching the LLC docs, requesting a freeze on all accounts until we met. Then I forwarded the same to my personal lawyer cousin in Dallas, subject: need advice ASAP. The house felt oppressive, saturated with ring light ghosts. I stripped the den of his daycare, LED strips off walls, green screen folded, mic unplugged. Pixel chased dangling cables while I boxed equipment. One by one, I labeled each cord potential evidence. At midnight, headlights swept the driveway. Car door slammed. Keys rattled violently. I'd changed the smart lock code earlier. He couldn't enter without me. "Rachel," he yelled through the door, voice hoarse. "Open up." I stayed silent. "I'm not leaving," fist thudded wood. Pixel hissed. I called Dana on speaker so a witness could hear. "Sam," banging quieted, replaced by broken sobs. "Please, babe, we can fix this." Dana whispered, "Don't open if you're scared." I wasn't scared of violence. Sam was many things, not physically abusive, but I feared manipulation. His charisma had fooled thousands. In person, it was stronger. "Go stay with Dana," I said through the door. "We'll talk when lawyers are present." Silence, then a defeated exhale. "You always overreact." I clenched my teeth. Overreact, the word he'd weaponized for months. Footsteps retreated. Car started, vanished. I slid down the wall, exhaustion crushing me. Pixel nuzzled my knee. Somewhere in the house, a faucet dripped like a ticking clock. Looking back now, I wish I'd slept, but adrenaline kept me wired. I opened the Google Drive dashboard, 400,000 views and climbing. BrainForge issued a statement on Twitter at 1:17 a.m. BrainForge has terminated sponsorship of the content creator, known as Coach Rex, following allegations of unethical behavior. We stand against misogyny and unauthorized use of personal data. Stock screenshots showed their private equity backers pulling out. One tweet tagged the SEC. My heart pounded. Sam's investment gamble could trigger fraud investigations. At 2 a.m., my mom called from Arizona, frantic after seeing a news blurb. I assured her I was safe. She cried, begged me to fly home. I promised to think about it. By dawn, my eyes burned, but sleep wouldn't come. I brewed coffee, sat at the kitchen island, and opened a fresh doc, timeline and evidence. Nurse instinct again, document everything for legal clarity. First entry, January 3, Sam launches podcast. Last entry so far, tonight, Livestream hijack. At 6 a.m., my phone buzzed with a text from a New York number. "Good morning, Rachel. I represent YouTube's creator responsibility team. We'd like your statement regarding last night's incident." I stared at the screen. This was bigger than marital drama now. It was a platform scandal. Pixel meowed. I whispered, "Yeah, girl, we really did it." I typed, "Happy to cooperate, but please address my lawyer first." Hit send, closed laptop. Dawn light spilled across the living room, revealing the dent in the wall where Sam once tested a new camera mount. Evidence of another life. I realized the spiral wasn't over. It was just starting. Bank audits, media requests, maybe court, and internally, the wreckage of love turned spectacle. But beneath the exhaustion sat a strange, steady truth. For the first time since Chick-fil-A jokes became podcast fodder, I controlled my narrative. Next steps would hurt. Public opinion would flip-flop. Sam would fight, maybe apologize on camera, blame cancel culture. But receipts don't lie, and neither would I. I poured myself another coffee, opened a new canvas, and began painting Pixel in front of a shattered microphone. Therapy through art, cheap, messy, effective. Because whatever storm came, at least I'd never wonder if I'd stayed silent when I should have spoken. And somewhere out there, 50,000 former kings were waking up to realize the woman they laughed at wrote the plot twist they'll never forget. For 3 days, long, feverish, headline-soaked days, my life became a 24/7 news ticker. Local Austin radio called it the Livestream wife takedown. TMZ grabbed a screen cap of my $1,000 super chat and printed the banner, Coach Rex exposed by clingy nurse wife. The Verge ran a think piece on bro-cast misogyny. My Instagram DMs were a war zone. Nurses cheering me on, manosphere trolls telling me to go make a sandwich. At work, chief nursing officer pulled me aside. "You okay, Rachel?" HR flagged some threatening comments sent to the hospital's Facebook. My cheeks burned, but I nodded. She offered crisis leave. I declined. Toddlers with fevers didn't care about YouTube drama. Sam retreated to his parents' house in Round Rock. Dana texted updates. He'd lost his remote engineering job, company image clause. Patreon suspended his account. Discord banned his server. Brainforge's legal counsel demanded reimbursement of their sponsorship plus damages, citing reputational harm. That totaled 90 grand. Our joint savings held maybe 32 after his reckless investment. Meanwhile, my lawyer cousin Maya dug into Seed Investments, LLC. She discovered Sam had taken out a personal line of credit with my forged e-signature as guarantor to cover the extra $45K fraud. Identity theft. Felony territory. Maya filed an emergency injunction, freezing remaining funds and shielding my credit report. Then she drafted a divorce petition under cruelty and financial deception. I stared at the PDF, tears blurring the text. 5 years of marriage reduced to docket numbers. Sam finally called through Dana's phone, voice small. "Ratch, please, I was stupid. I'll sell the gear, repay everything. We can do therapy." I pictured the mountains of hate mail, the forged signature, the toddlers I'd soothed while he mocked me online. My reply came out flat. "You turned marriage into monetization, Sam. Therapy can't unstream that." He broke down, sobbing. Part of me ached, but anger held firm. I ended the call. That night, my inbox pinged. YouTube offered me a private link to the full chat log from Sam's final stream for investigative transparency. I skimmed, screens of viewers switching allegiance in real time. One message gripped me. "Bro, my wife watches you with me." She heard this and said, "If Rachel can fight back, so can we." I closed the file, heart pounding. I hadn't just ruined Sam, I'd lit a fuse in thousands of living rooms. Power, terror, responsibility tangled inside me. Cassie suggested a media interview. Control the narrative before tabloids twist it. You're a nurse, an ethical whistleblower, people respect that. I hesitated, the spotlight seared, but silence had cost me before. So on the fourth night, I joined a live Zoom with a PBS tech ethics show. No makeup, scrubs on. I spoke calmly about consent, privacy, and love turned commodity. I ended with, if your partner's content depends on your pain, ask who's really benefiting. The host thanked me. Comments were 90% supportive, 10% feminazi slurs. I could live with that ratio. Afterward, Maya called. Your interview just tipped negotiations. Brainforge wants to settle quietly. They'll void Sam's debt if he signs a cease and desist and issues a public apology. My stomach twisted. Does the apology help him rebuild? It helps you close the book, she said. Up to you. I pictured Sam typing a scripted sorry, tears off camera. Would it be sincere or another performance? Did it matter? I whispered, tell them yes, if he also transfers all podcast assets to me. The channel, the Patreon, the domain, I'll decide its fate. Maya laughed. Savage, I like it, I'll draft the clause. That night, I slept 4 solid hours for the first time all week. Pixel curled beside me, purring like a tiny generator of peace. In the morning, I woke to an email titled My Formal Apology. Sam's face in a thumbnail, puffy-eyed, voice trembling through pre-written lines. He admitted forging my signature, exploiting private struggles, and endangering our finances. Comments were savage, some sympathetic, most not. At the end, he said, I'm surrendering the Coach Rex brand to Rachel. Do with it what you will. Then the video faded. I watched in silence, tears sliding down but not breaking me. Pixel mewed. I stroked her head and whispered, now we decide what with it means. Because destroying a platform is easy, transforming it, that takes a different kind of courage. And I was just starting to feel brave. I spent a full weekend staring at the Coach Rex YouTube dashboard. 1.9 million subscribers, thousands of hateful comments still popping like microwave popcorn. Each video now bore a disclaimer from Sam's apology, plus my new ownership note. Channel transferred to Rachel Adams as of date. I hovered over delete channel more than once. One click and the misogynist library would vanish. Tempting. But Cassie said, remember, reach is power. What if you flip the script? Flip it how? Turn male dominance rants into relationship first aid. Could the same algorithm that pushed Sam's toxicity boost something healthier? I mulled it while repainting the den. I rolled soft sage green over his dark gamer blue, pixels supervised from a drop cloth. Each stroke felt like scraping mold off my soul. Finally, an idea locked in. A livestream town hall, same time slot Sam had ruled, but hosted by me and a licensed therapist friend, Dr. Lacey Nguyen. Topic: when content crosses consent. We set chat to questions only, no donations. Instead, viewers could submit stories of privacy breaches. I posted a trailer on the channel. Comments split. Some cheered, others screamed, "You hijacked his dream." I shrugged, yes, I had. Monday night, we went live. Dr. Nguyen sat beside me, calm professional aura. I opened. Many of you followed Coach Rex for strategies. Tonight, we're talking about the human cost of making loved ones into clickbait. 20 minutes in, viewer count hit 120K, double Sam's peak. Questions poured. Girlfriends worried about hidden cams, guys asking how to earn back trust they'd broken. Dr. Nguyen offered grounded advice. I shared nursing analogies. Wounds heal if cleaned, not if hidden. Halfway through, a familiar username donated $2, Sam's alt account now visible. Message: listening, learning, thank you R. I read it aloud. Heart hammered but voice stayed steady. Everyone deserves a chance to learn. Accountability first, healing next. Chat exploded with applause emojis. We ended after 90 minutes, drained but lit with purpose. Overnight, the live stream trended on YouTube's Education tab. NPR emailed for an interview. Sponsor offers arrived from mental health apps, not testosterone pills. The irony: Sam's empire crashed, but its infrastructure now amplified empathy. Sometimes justice isn't a wrecking ball, it's a remodel. Legally, Maya finalized the divorce filing. Sam didn't contest. He signed over full liability for the forged loan. BrainForge voided the debt per settlement. I kept the house, the cat, and unexpectedly, a monetized platform dedicated to digital ethics. Emotionally, I started therapy myself. Guilt surfaced. Had public shamming been too harsh? Dr. Patel, my therapist, said, shame sticks when hidden. You pulled his into light, what he does with it is his work. That helped. One rainy Saturday, I opened Sam's storage box, found the funfetti cupcake pan we'd used our first anniversary. I cried. Love wasn't a lie, it just got buried under ego and algorithms. I packed the pan for goodwill. Some newlywed might use it without poison memories. I launched a series called Consent Check, 3-minute clips explaining boundaries in modern media relationships. Viewers sent thank you notes. A college girl who confronted her vlogger boyfriend before he posted their fight. A dad who apologized to his teen for sharing embarrassing TikToks. Every win stitched my heart a bit tighter. Yet nights were still lonely. I'd scroll Airbnb getaways, imagining vacations once planned. Then I'd close the app, brew chamomile, paint pixel-chasing microphone chords, my playful exorcism. One afternoon, a certified letter arrived, the loan company clearing my name. I framed it above my desk, a reminder that fighting back had tangible results. Another letter followed, a notification that Sam completed a restorative justice course BrainForge required. He wrote a personal note, I'm rebuilding off camera. Pixel deserves chin scratches, send her my love. I didn't reply, but I whispered to Pixel, he remembers. She flicked her tail, unimpressed. Spring edged into summer. The den smelled of lavender candle instead of gamer sweat. My channel hit 1 million subs again, this time by choice, by consent. YouTube sent a gold plaque. I unboxed it on stream, dedicating it to every voice reclaimed. Sometimes viewers asked if I'd ever date again. I'd smile. When trust feels like curiosity, not surveillance. They understood. And quietly, curiosity returned. Grad school classmate Jordan DM'd after a live stream, praising the consent framework. We grabbed coffee, public, no cameras. He listened more than he talked. I told him Pixel was a strict chaperone. He laughed. Slow steps felt right. Healing wasn't a Hollywood montage. It was bills paid on time, boundary emails sent, early bedtimes kept. Yet there was a cinematic twist I still owed the story, the moral people would quote. I drafted it in my journal. Secrets are stories you give away once. Respect is how you decide who tells them next. It would be the closing line of the final part of this saga, the aftertaste that lingers longer than flaming super chats. Because in the age of oversharing, the greatest plot twist is choosing what to keep for yourself. 1 year after the night I hijacked Sam's livestream, I found myself standing on a small stage at South by Southwest, clutching a clicker instead of a stethoscope. The panel title projected behind me read, "When Love Goes Viral, Privacy, Profit, and the Cost of Oversharing." Tickets had sold out in 3 hours. Dr. Lacey Nguyen sat on a bar stool to my left. Cassie manned the AV booth. In the front row, I spotted my mom, Dana, and unexpected but steady, Jordan, smiling encouragement. I took a breath. No mic filter, no ring light, just my own voice. I never thought a $30 USB microphone could blow up my life, I began, echoing the hook that had started it all. Laughter rippled, they knew the lore. But when my husband turned our marriage into content, I learned 3 things. I clicked to slide 1, a shattered heart icon. First, betrayal hurts most when packaged as entertainment. Slide 2, a contract with cartoon handcuffs. Second, consent isn't a checkbox you click once, it's a conversation you renew. Slide 3, a phoenix made of Wi-Fi bars. Third, stories can burn you down or they can light the way for others. The room quieted. I told them how the Coach Rex channel now funds scholarships for women in digital ethics programs, how BrainForge pivoted to transparency initiatives, and how Sam, who'd completed community service at a crisis hotline, had written a public Medium essay titled From Clickbait to Accountability. I read one line aloud. I mine pain for profit, now I mine regret for responsibility. A few gasps, a few nods. I wasn't there to crucify him, just to show the full arc. I ended with the phrase that had lived on my mirror for months. Secrets are stories you give away once. Respect decides who tells them next. Applause felt like a tide lifting me off the stage. Afterwards, attendees queued to share their own Coach Rex moments and snap selfies under a sign that read consent check. Irony, a selfie is still content, but this time everyone asked first. That evening, I slipped outside the convention center for air. Austin's spring breeze carried whiffs of food truck tacos and budding magnolias. Jordan appeared, holding 2 iced coffees. "You were brilliant," he said, handing me one. "Nurse by day, narrative slayer by night." I chuckled, more like full-time boundary gardener. We walked toward Lady Bird Lake. The skyline reflected sequins of sunset on the water. Pixel's face lit my phone screen, Dana sending a pic of her cat sitting. I smiled. Life felt stitched back together, not perfect, but honest. Jordan paused on the boardwalk. "Can I share something?" he asked, gentle. I nodded. "I watched your first livestream expose while grading student projects. It made me call my sister and apologize for posting a childhood video she hated. Small thing, but your story changed our family dynamic." Warmth flooded my chest. Impact, real, quiet, personal. He squeezed my hand, ask, receive, consent. "Dinner, no cameras, just us." "Yes," I said. Weeks later, final divorce papers arrived. I signed with a steady hand. Sam would spend years repaying loans, but he'd stay out of jail thanks to the settlement clauses. proof that justice can be firm without being vindictive. I placed the decree in a folder labeled Close Chapters. Then I logged into YouTube one last time, scheduled a video titled End Credits. In it, I told viewers, I won't monetize my healing. The channel's library stays as a cautionary archive, comments off. If you came for warfare, the battle, over. If you stay, let it be to learn. I disabled future ads and pinned resources for counseling and digital consent education. Then I logged out, maybe for good. Pixel jumped onto the desk, knocking over my gold play button. It clattered but didn't break. I laughed and set it upright. Scars give trophies context. That night I painted again, a watercolor of a microphone dissolving into flowers, Pixel batting at the petals. I signed it raw, my initials alone, no +1. I hung it above the sage green wall where Sam's ring lights once glared, and whispered a final benediction. Some lessons cost you everything you thought was secure. Love needs trust. I only learned that when I lost it, and then found myself. Story told, boundaries intact, future wide open.